Welcome back, everyone, to Soul of a Gamer.
Soul of a Gamer.
My name is Scott Nell.
And I'm Stephen McGee. And we spend a week playing a game while sometimes giving ourselves unique challenges. And then we tell you all of our thoughts and experiences with the game.
Yeah, we hope you liked our last week episode of Slender the Arrival.
Yes.
We liked that a lot. That was a lot of fun.
It was definitely fun. And if you guys didn't catch it already, our videos, we do have videos of us playing through the game. His entire playthrough and part of my playthrough. If you watch those videos and leave comments, I might post the rest of mine. And if you guys are enjoying our thoughts and our reviews on all these games, if you could, please go down, takes 30 seconds, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, anything. Like, seriously, give us ideas for games. We say it all every week. It's super helpful, super amazing. Do it.
Yeah, although I'm gonna be honest, we didn't listen to our one comment on a.
No, we did. I added those two games to the list.
Oh, okay. At the bottom of the list, I'm willing to bet.
No, one of them's in like 6 games from now.
Yeah. Far away. This really helped us out, though, guys. So just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Stop being a bitch and just fucking do it, please.
Seriously, any comments you have, whether you like it or not, just tell us if you like it. Honestly, it really helps us. It helps the algorithm for everything going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
It helps us grow. So thank you for everyone who has reviewed. Thank you for everyone who has hit that like button and subscribe to us.
Also, hit subscribe because once we get 100, we're playing fucking ET, so...
Yes.
I want to play it so bad.
Unfortunately, I will play...
I downloaded the game and the emulator, and I'm just waiting on the call.
Shoot, I'll even say if we get like 10 people that leave a comment saying play ET, I'll play it.
All right. Let's make it 20.
20.
I want to inspire people.
Let's do 20. Yeah, let's do 20. If I get 20 people or 100
and it can't
subscribers...
be the same person 20 times. Cheaters. All right, so this week's game, I actually really like this week's game. It was Murdered Soul Survivor.
Soul Suspect.
Oh, yeah. Well, Soul Survivor, too.
Yeah.
Honestly, through the game.
He's a survivor.
No, just stop.
No. I thought it was great.
This game was fucking awesome, except for a few key things that just completely ruined it for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this game, it's so cool. So it's a game where you die and you're a ghost, which is already fucking sweet. Because you walk through shit, and that is so cool. It's such a cool mechanic. Like, being able just to walk through stuff, although some stuff you can't walk through because it's not
the
built...
rules of the ghost.
Yeah. Well. It's not built in the game, and also they call it consecrated ground. I'm like, why is every building like on the edge of a map consecrated ground, huh, guys? Yeah.
It's just because it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't question it.
But you could go through some of the church walls. That's not consecrated.
So yes, I did have the back of this game pulled up so we could read through that for you guys.
Oh, okay.
So the back of this box says, the hardest murder to solve is your own.
Because you're fucking dead.
Yes. So Ronan O'Connor, a detective with the Salem Police Department.
Ronan.
Sorry,
Ronan.
I don't know why I said Ronan.
No,
that was really dumb of me.
I was like, Ronan, what the fuck is that? Ronan O'Connor.
So yes, he was a detective with the Salem Police.
By the way.
It's a great name.
Yeah, that is a really good name.
And has his life brought to a brutal end by a mass killer. And caught in this purgatorial world of dusk, he must combine his investigation skills with powerful supernatural abilities to uncover the shocking link between his own death and the ritualistic killer, leaving a terrifying mark upon the town of Salem.
Yeah, it's in Salem, Massachusetts. Of course it fucking is.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it be?
Which honestly added to the story, though, with a lot of the things that
I honestly didn't think so. I was like, you could have done this anyway. I'll give you my opinion of how the game should have went.
Okay.
At the end, because I have a way better idea for what they could have done.
Okay.
Because they did a good job until the ending, and then you're like, excuse me? What the fuck did you guys do? No, it's horrible.
Oh, it's so good.
Horrible. Also, so this game, you're a ghost.
Of the ending
yeah. You're a ghost and you're solving your own murder. You're murdered in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yes.
And you're thrown off a roof and then shot 7 times, which seems a little excessive.
It was very excessive.
A little too much of murdering, if you ask me. But apparently, whatever.
You fall out of the 4th story.
Yeah.
You get thrown out of a window, and then the killer comes down, takes your gun, and shoots you.
Your second gun.
Yeah, your
Because
second
apparently you fucking, as a cop, you had 2 guns because you're a fucking gangster.
Well, yeah, he's got his normal hand and his offhand.
Yeah, your character's like a weird ex-criminal gangster guy, which that was stupid.
Yeah, he used to be a con men, and then he met his wife, and his wife kind of changed his
Yeah.
life, and then her brother was a cop, so I'm guessing he kind of convinced him to become a cop himself.
Did you read any of the extended lore in that game?
I read it the first time I played through. I didn't read it much this time.
I didn't read it at all, and it was so confusing going through that game, because at one point you find out your wife is dead, and the first time you hear about her death is when you're in the police station. They go, she had a brain disease. Man, she had a brain disease. And then the second time you mentioned it, you're like, she was murdered. And like, well, which one is it? Is it the brain disease or the murder? Because I didn't read the lore in the game, so I'm like, oh, maybe they explained it better in there, but why the fuck did they just introduce two different things?
There was things earlier in the game that actually showed, or said and kind of showed that they died if you found certain things.
Oh, yeah. I knew that, yeah.
So she was definitely dead, but yeah, it kind of is really...
I'm sure it says in the lore how she died, but is it murder or brain disease? Because they said both of those things.
I don't know, because I know, like, when he leaves the police station, I think it is he has that flashback of her, like, in his arms, like, dying, like, right there.
But she doesn't look like she was shot or anything. Yeah, there's no blood. I thought just maybe, like, oh, she collapsed because she fucking got cancer.
Probably.
But, yeah, I don't understand why they did this, but I think they decided on one thing early in the game, put it in, and then later in the game, they're like, nah, murder her. Make her murdered.
That could be, honestly. Yeah. Like, it really does kind of seem like there was a couple, like, possible shifts just to try to make twist in the game.
Yeah, which was silly because they didn't need to do that. The sweetest part of this game is the investigating. Like,
yes.
So you'll be in, like, a little room, and you'll have to pick out things like clues and stuff to piece together the crime. And as a ghost, you can kind of see things. You can see, like, their flashbacks, and although I was a little confused on that, like, can you actually see what happened, or is it his mind putting the pieces together? Because I was like half and half on it.
It's his mind putting the pieces together, but with supernatural abilities, so it's kind of a mix of both.
Yeah,
from what I've gathered, anyways.
Because at some of the crime scenes, you do picture like the actual killer, like, walking in and stuff and looking for things.
If I don't know if you've ever watched the Flash TV show, but I kind of see it as the way that Vibe uses his powers in that show. So the way that Vibe uses his powers, he can actually teleport his mental projection into either the past or the future or whatever.
That's stupid.
And what he can do is he can actually walk around in that state of time and see all the details. He can read newspapers, he can do whatever he needs to do to try to find clues. I think that's kind of what they did with this game in a way, where he kind of gets a spiritual connection to that event, and he is able to see things that he didn't see normally the first time.
So my guess is he mostly uses it to go back to, like, the best sex he ever had and just watch it happen.
I mean, that would be a great way to use it, honestly.
That's probably what he's doing, honestly. Like, he broke up with this amazing girl, and it's going back every day. I'm going to watch it again. What a terrible superhero.
I mean, that sounds pretty bad if it was a superhero story.
But yeah, I mean, the investigating's really cool in the game. I really had a lot of fun with that. And then the dumb things in the game, the demons were just so fucking stupid.
Yeah, so for everyone who doesn't know in the game, throughout the game, you're trying to investigate everything. You're trying to figure out who killed you.
Yeah.
And throughout the entire time, you're going through these things, and you find a girl who's a medium, whose mom was helping the police, actually. And she's gone missing, and he finds her at this church because she was actually in the room when he was murdered.
Murdered.
And so he realizes that she can see him and talk to him and everything like that. So they're trying to help each other out and everything. And throughout this entire time, there's also sometimes there's pools on the ground that are like connections to the hell world in this.
No, I guess I don't even know what the fuck they are. They just got a bunch of hands coming out and they try to grab you and you're like, stop it.
Yeah, and they'll drag you down, but I'm pretty sure they're dragging you down to hell.
Maybe.
Because you're in purgatory right now. This place they call Dusk.
Yeah.
And it's where it's described at the beginning of the game by this little girl who died probably in like the 1500s
I
or
don't
something.
know. Again, I didn't read all the lore and shit, a bunch of stuff written on walls that you were supposed to read, and I didn't bother with it.
So she was actually part of the Salem witch trials kind of stuff.
Oh.
It kind of describes she accused a bunch of girls of being witches and got them executed. And then someone had found out that she actually... This is kind of spoiling the end of the game a little bit, but you find out later that she actually accused a bunch of girls that got executed, and then turns out that it was false accusing them.
Yeah, and
So she got executed.
Yeah, really.
But she describes at the beginning of the game that you're in purgatory, kind of this area right now, and you have unresolved issues. He hasn't solved his murder yet.
Yeah.
And that's his unresolved
And his wife
issue.
is like, "Come to me
once you figure out what's going on, but be careful."
And then he was like, "Oh shit, I thought you'd be Gwendolyn. Wrong woman, God. Way to go."
But what ends up happening is if you don't figure out or solve your unresolved issues for long enough, you become a demon.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
That's what this says. And then the only thing that demons do is
walk around.
Walk around and hunt for souls.
They walk around very methodically, actually. They do the same little pattern every time in the same area and look for ghosts in a very limited scope.
Yeah, honestly, if they had more freedom of movement, it would have made the game way better.
I don't even know. It was just such a boring part of the game, going and getting behind them. Because you have to get behind them to cleanse them. Because if you watch after you kill one, the soul releases from the top of it. But I was like, this is just such a stupid
it counts
concept.
as an execution, but what you end up doing is you kind of like drag their soul and then free it.
You have a lot of power as a ghost, but you can only do it from behind them.
Yeah.
You can't do it from in front of them because they're too powerful.
Because
you apparently can fucking do it from behind them.
Basically, it sounds just whoever gets the first edge wins.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. That part of the game, the demons were just so lackluster. They weren't challenging, and they weren't even good bad guys. Like, just having to wait there for them to turn around was so annoying sometimes.
That's
while
where
you're
I
hiding.
say the freedom of movement. Yeah. And if they weren't just in just certain particular areas, but throughout the entire game, if they were just random throughout the game, it didn't have any particular movements.
I don't know. They could have taken all of those bad guys out, and honestly, the game would have still been great.
That's true. It would have been more like a Sherlock game kind of thing.
And that's exactly what I was thinking going through it. I'm like, take the demons out. Take the demon. This demon is fucking worthless. Take the demons out.
Because it was cool just even using your powers, just even for walking around and just possessing people and reading their minds and stuff.
Yeah, that was sweet.
It was really cool.
And it was a limited possession, which I really liked, and that's also what I hated about the end of the game, is how fucking powerful this possession was.
Yeah.
But limited possessions are pretty cool because you can't control the body, but you can get inside, you could get past those little hand things, you could read their minds, you could alter their memories. That kind of like... for them to think, because you can't just read their minds.
Yeah.
You actually have to think of what you want them to think of.
Which is really cool, because you actually do that several times throughout the game. You're investigating and you see these, like, a bunch of items and stuff that are clues to the case. And then you're like, all right. And your character kind of out loud is just like, all right, how do I get them to think of this?
Yeah.
And then so you possess them, and then you have a menu screen of, like, 9 things to pick from of all the clues that you found. It'll have a lock on the clues that you haven't found.
And at the top of the screen, it'll say, like, make her think of sympathy or something. Like,
or, or where's... what gave you a clue to where her location was?
Where's Waldo?
And it's like, oh, the picture of her at the church.
Yeah.
That's the clue. And so you got to pick clues like that. And you get, like, 3 tries. And I've never failed any of the 3 tries.
No.
So I don't know what
I kind of wanted to do that. Fail all of them and see what it is. If you just die or something, I think you just die.
Or maybe you just don't get that information.
Well, you need it for some things.
Oh yeah, because you need
so
to move
I imagine
on a lot
you
of
just
times,
die.
Maybe, and you just got to restart it.
Yeah,
or whatever.
probably. But you know, the demons were just so lackluster, but the investigations were so good that I was like, man, this game could be so cool. It could be a Sherlock's only game if they took that out. As you progress through the game, you figure out stuff about yourself. There's like lore you can find. There's random memories of you and your wife. There's things about the killer.
Also just random other ghosts that you find that
who you help
don't know who or how they died, or they don't even know they're dead yet.
It's amazing because all of them are either high or drunk.
Pretty much.
That's all of them, except for the one lady. Like, there was one on a boat you had to solve because she like crashed her boat and then drowned.
Yeah.
But she saved a bunch of people when she did it, and she was the only one who you were like, why do you not remember? Because the other 2 didn't remember because they were drunk and high. So that made sense.
Well, I think she didn't remember it just because she drowned right away, and that's all she remembers is being in the water. But it's even kind of like the way that I don't know if you watched the new Netflix series, The Hauntings of Bly Manor.
No, not yet.
It's really amazing for everyone who hasn't seen it. But in that movie, or not in that movie, in that show, one of the characters has been dead the entire show, but she doesn't realize that she's dead until she actually sees her body.
If you've never seen it, you now know that it's, somebody's been dead the entire show.
Like, the entire show, like, she's dead the entire time, but because she doesn't know that she's dead, she actually appears as a person to everyone, and everyone just thinks she's alive and stuff too.
Yeah. So
And
she's Casper.
she has all these different things where she's just like, what's going on? What am I doing? And she keeps falling back into memories, but not realizing that she's been dead the entire time.
Oh,
and so I think it's kind of the same thing with these kind of
I don't know.
ghost stories.
I
where-
think they just, like, again, poor writing. They went in,
I
they
don't think
decided
so.
drunk and high, and then poor writing after that.
Yeah, because I know the kid ones were the drunk and high ones, but
Yeah.
with her, I really think they really tried to do that. Like, she didn't know she was dead, and everything was
No,
just really
she
confusing.
didn't. I thought she did know she was dead.
No, she didn't know what would happen.
Oh, yeah.
Until
that's
you
right.
said it, and then she's like, oh.
She was a cool ghost, though. Her story was pretty sweet. The high one, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, you solve her fucking case, and it was like this old 70-year-old woman and this young girl, and she hit her over the head with her hand. It said with her hand. And she killed her instantly. And I was like, what? This old woman is like the strongest old woman of all time.
Yes.
Yeah, so this woman, she wants to know how she died. She couldn't remember because she's fucking high. And this old woman and old man were tired of her parties. I'm trying to sleep, god damn it! And she punched her in the face and fucking killed her. And that's what happened. And then if you go and read their minds, they're so fucking funny. The old man's like, at least it's quiet so I can watch TV. And then the old woman's like, she deserved it. And I'm like, you are the shittiest old couple ever.
See, I love reading people's minds so much in this game, because, like, even, like, that first time you go back up to where you were when you got tossed out the window.
Yeah.
If you read the minds of, like, the people living in the building, like, outside of the, like, the police fence, or not police fence, but the police line or whatever, like, the cops, like, oh my god, does these people have anything better to do than
No,
just
one of
sit
them,
here and
when
investigate?
you do it, they'll like, why doesn't, because they're talking to one cop and the other cop is the one you read his mind, like, why doesn't he just tell them about it? They're going to learn
Yeah.
about it on the news. I'm like, you're a fucking shitty cop.
Yeah, no,
You're the worst.
seriously.
That's what, they give false information on the news to make the killer more confident, you dummy.
Exactly. Like,
Fucking
there's
idiot.
reasons for that.
Yeah, I was like, this cop is the worst. This is why you're not Detective Dick.
And then the people in the building are just like, what's going on? What's happening? I just
know,
want to
and then
know. And it's like,
They're all
you don't need to
upstairs,
know.
which is crazy. I'm like, why didn't they lock down? They didn't lock down the building. They didn't
Yes.
lock down the block.
No, seriously.
They did not do anything.
Especially for a cop being killed.
These are the worst police officers of all time.
Well, and then it's weird too, because the first time you go out of the building, and you see those two cops in the alley, if you read one of their minds, they're like, I wonder who did it. And then one of the guys is like, I think Baxter did it. And they're like, you really think a cop would kill somebody?
Yeah.
And they're like, I've seen a lot of shitty things in my line of work, and nothing would surprise me nowadays.
Right. Well, maybe Ghost would.
And then it's like, all right, you're really trying to implant right from the get-go that
Baxter's a
the
dick,
killer.
by the way.
Baxter is a dick.
He's like a giant asshole or something. He dies though, so that's okay.
Yes. I love that at the beginning. Like, he's looking over the body, and he's like, you, like, piece of shit. I told you not to go in alone or whatever, and takes
Well,
his hat and puts it on.
Yeah, I was like, you're fucking with evidence.
seriously.
What
And
are you doing?
Even Ronan, your character, says
Yeah.
that. He says, like, you're tampering with evidence, really? And then his
Well,
brother-in-law...
Ronan wasn't a good cop either.
No. he
Ronan was a
wasn't.
terrible cop. He doesn't. You know, it never explains why he's at the apartment. I
yeah,
assume it's an
actually.
anonymous tip that maybe that was like the killer's location, but it literally never explains why he went to that apartment.
I almost have a theory for it, but I'll bring it up once we get later in the game.
Yeah, I think I know where you're gonna go with it, but I'm thinking more if it was like a possession, an anonymous tip, and then he went there because it was, she was gonna kill him anyway.
Maybe.
But so as we get through the game, you get to go to some cool places. The museum's
Yes.
really fucking sweet.
Yes, it
I
is.
love the museum because it shows like all the witch trial stuff.
Oh, that train that goes through.
Yeah, the
too is-
train. There's a train that goes through, and you have a teleportability that you get later on. And it's really bad because you can't teleport over certain things, which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, but you could teleport. There's a train, a ghost train, I should say. So there's ghost walls too. There's like a ghost random walls,
They're like-
random boats everywhere.
They're like things that were, I guess, technically consecrated ground or consecrated or like blessed items or whatever.
Maybe, yeah, I'm thinking
that were from the
apparently
old
the
town
whole
Salem.
all of the train tracks and the train and the conductor and the engine and
Well,
everything.
yeah, because they built over it with the museum and stuff where the train used to be.
But they consecrated the entire fucking train, the tracks, and
Maybe they
all the
blessed it or
nuts and
something.
bullshit.
I don't know.
Fucking, it was
I
another
don't know.
mechanic in the bullshit game. But anyway, there's a train going through the museum. It's just a ghost train, so it's not killing anything. But you can die if you get hit by it.
Yes, and we
'Cause
should
you're
also
a
tell too,
ghost.
one of the other mechanics in the game when you first find the demons is there's remnants of bodies or whatever.
So when a demon kills someone, they leave their essence like poop when you die.
Yes,
And you have to
can
hide in that poop.
in that essence.
No, in that poop.
In that poop.
Yeah.
Yes, you hide in that poop.
So you hide in the poop, and then the demons are like, "Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Are you over here? You over here? Over here?"
That is kind of creepy sometimes though. If you get the demon like right in your
Well,
face,
as soon as
screaming at
look,
you.
yeah, as soon as it looks at you, it just starts screaming. I'm like, "Okay, you're
Yeah.
scary." I never even died from a demon.
And honestly, like I watched I watched the speed run of this game, the world record, which
Yeah.
is 57 minutes.
I'm
and
not surprised.
45 seconds
It's
or
very
something like that.
easy. It would be super easy to do that.
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
like even playing it the second time through, I was blazing through this
Yeah.
game. It's
I mean,
so
I did
easy
it in
knowing.
10 hours because I was like looking for extra stuff and things, thinking, I should get the achievement. And then I was like, yeah, fuck the achievements.
Oh, which the achievements in this game, actually, the collectibles are hard to find. Like, you would have to actually do some work and go everywhere to find all the collectibles.
Yeah,
in this
and
game.
also some of them are very hidden.
Very
The
hidden.
Abigail writings are
Yeah,
all
those are awful.
super hidden.
Because
I only found 4 of them.
Yeah, because you actually have to just randomly walk up to
To
a
a
wall
wall,
that
and then you
has
find- yeah.
them. Like, so you basically have to have a guide to get to those, or you
Yeah.
have to walk up to every single wall hoping you're going to find those
Yeah,
collectibles.
it's really silly.
So collectibles in this game, honestly, you probably need a walkthrough for.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a collectible kind of person and a 100%er, this is a game that's harder
Or you
to
could
do
spend
it on.
30 hours finding them yourself.
You could. You probably would actually honestly have to spend about 30 hours.
Yeah,
in
because
this
it's
game.
really, the game is kind of big. It's not like huge, but it's a big area for you not being able to fast travel.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Which, I mean, yeah, honestly, for as big as the game is, a game not having fast travel, and it was pretty, like, linear story, but
Yeah.
open in a linear way.
yeah.
It really made traveling through the game feel really good.
Yeah. So after you go to all these stupid places and get all these stupid things, you like figure out the murderer is killing mediums,
Yes.
which was a big like. Of course, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, no, no, don't you fuck this all up. They could have had a sweet story about a serial killer who kills like a certain type of person, like little girls or something, and you caught on to them in the apartment, and then he killed you. But I knew it was something weird right away, because in the first scene, he's like tossing you 40 feet,
Yeah.
and you're like, why are you so fucking strong?
Yeah.
I look pretty strong, and I suck
No,
compared to you."
seriously, he hit you
Yeah.
and like flew you against a wall.
You
like
get
10
the
feet
wall
away.
cracks, and I was like, God damn it, it's a fucking ghost. It's a fucking ghost. That's what it is. It's a fucking ghost. It's probably multiple killers. As soon as I saw that medium thing, I was like, this is such bullshit. They could have done it such a cool
I
thing.
liked the medium twist though,
No.
because it.
I think
There's
the medium,
a reason for the medium twist though, in my eyes. Like
Why?
because of the Salem witch trials, they look at mediums as witches who sold
yeah,
their
sure.
souls for their powers.
Sure, I get that, but I think it would have been a better story if because the story was lackluster after that point. Like the killings didn't really make any like cool sense.
Yeah.
Like to me, it would have been better if it was a serial killer story, and it just happened to be in the town of Salem because there are mediums that can see you and help you solve your own murder.
So
Like,
you
I thought
wanted
that
to
would
be
be
not have the killings be tied to supernatural
No,
stuff.
I wanted the killings to be like an actual serial
An
killer
actual serial
that they've been trying to catch for 10 years or something. Like, that would have
Okay.
been fucking amazing. That story.
Yeah, because I mean, this is overpowered. It gets
Yeah.
to a point where, like, if I guess I see your point, because like
Yeah.
if the story was more grounded and more to a like Ted Bundy kind of serial killer or something like that, the story would be so much more like, how the fuck haven't you killed this guy?
Yeah.
Like, this guy must be the most intelligent person in the
that
world.
would be the sweetest story too. And this little girl, it's Abigail who fucking takes over people and kills them because she's mad
Yes.
that she got killed for killing a bunch of people. What a bitch.
Yeah,
Abigail's
so
a giant
the girl at
fucking
the
bitch.
beginning of the game that
Little
kinda
girl,
gives
she's
you
like
a
10.
she lets you ask a bunch of questions about where you're at, what the demons are, and all this other stuff at the beginning of the game. Kind of gives you a small tutorial of the world
Yeah.
of what you're doing and what powers you have and what abilities you might have later. And yeah, you find out later in the game that she's behind everything.
Yeah, it's really dumb. I really did not like Abigail's character.
Yeah, because apparently she's been killing for 300 years.
Yeah, and it's really lame because they have this awesome haunted house, and then Abigail has her own little coven in there where it's just murderer from 1902, murderer from 1962, and it's just like why
Yeah.
why was this the thing? They should have made it a fucking serial killer case. But no, they wanted to go with the supernatural. Also, Steven called it a horror game last week. It is not a horror game. It is not scary whatsoever. There's not a point in there where there's any jumps. You're never really scared. The demons are just annoying. They're not even fucking scary. Abigail's just like a giant bitch. She's not even fucking scary.
I thought it was a little spooky. It's not scary. It's a little like it's got some spooky.
It's got
elements.
an ambience of spooky, but it's really not even spooky. I wouldn't call this.
There's a lot of even times like even when you're on the beach helping that lady trying to figure out if she's dead or how she died or whatever. There's all those like hiding spots, and you're like, why are there all these hiding spots?
I just
here?
figured demons would come later.
Yeah, I know.
Like there must be another fight, but they didn't.
No.
So it's really a lame.
I almost think that like something was cut out of there and they left those hiding spots or something. Because I'm like, why did you have the hiding spots in there?
They probably
they
probably built it in thinking they were gonna get farther into the game. Just said fuck it, release it. But yeah, this game would have been really cool if they took Abigail out because she was such a lame character.
Abigail was the lamest character.
Oh my gosh,
she didn't have
so
a very good motive.
No. And she killed for too long. Also, she was way too powerful. Like, no other ghost besides the other medium ghost. There's another medium. So you find out, you go through, like, there's several flashbacks of mediums dying, all within your time frame.
All being killed by different Salem witch trial execution ways.
Yeah.
So either hanging, drowning, or burning.
The drowning one was fucked.
The drowning one was fucked.
He ties her to a fucking chair and then hangs her from a tree. I'm like, why didn't you just throw the chair into the lake, you dick?
And then lowers the down
slowly, so she
drowning.
Suffers.
God, it's so terrible.
So she can watch her own death, fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But you're the one who does that. Apparently, Abigail took over your body and killed that girl, and then took over another police officer's body and killed that girl, and then took over your wife's brother's body because he's a detective and killed you and killed another girl. It was just so stupid. I was like, man, this would have been such a cool game if it was an actual serial killer, because then you're powerless. Like, no other ghost really does that until the medium, and they could have taken that part out.
Yeah.
They honestly could have taken that other medium out who died, who was taking over the girl, and then made it like ghosts aren't that powerful.
Because that didn't even feel like part of the game.
No,
it really
made no sense why she was even in her body.
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm just gonna have her have electric shock therapy.
Yeah.
Why? I'm saving her life. The killer won't be able to find her if she's fucking dumb.
Yeah, basically, it's really ridiculous in a lot of those ways, and I can totally see what you're saying.
Yeah. And I was just like, guys, you had such a good game in the beginning, and it's obvious that as they went through, they kind of got lazy, either with their writing or they ran out of money. It is a Square Enix game, and they're pretty notorious about end of game caps. They're not.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Final Fantasy game, they're not putting their best people on it.
Well, and even in Final Fantasy games, there's a lot of things like. People, even on like the newest Final Fantasy game, there's a lot of people that are like, wow, this is beautiful, but you cut this game in half and didn't even tell us that until we got the game.
And then made us buy the second half.
Made all these sections in the game that are giant walking sections, like 5-minute long walking sections that have nothing to do but looking at the world.
Yep.
Just so you can make this game longer so you could actually put it as a full price game.
Yeah. It's bullshit. And Murdered Soul
Suspect.
I was going to say Survivor. it's just, I mean, I thought it would be so cool if one of the cops was the serial killer. If the brother was like all along just killing people because he was a sexual sadist or something like that. I was like, that would have been so fucking sweet. But I would have rather it been a random person who there was no way anyone would suspect them.
No, seriously, like, I don't know, like, who would even be. Like, I was trying to think of, like, in the story, who would be a better killer. Because, like, Baxter was too obvious. The brother was one of those, like, the other obvious choice, I guess, because it wouldn't be the person closest to you kind of thing.
But... Yeah, but it would be the person. It would make sense because they would figure this out, too. So cops are smart. If things start happening in detriment to a case, they think, oh, it must be a cop behind this because they have access to this information, whereas normal people would not. But
I thought of a good character that might be good for the killing.
Who? Me.
Cassandra.
Who's Cassandra?
The girl's mom, Joy's mom.
Oh yeah,
the medium that was working with the police.
She was like the most lame character. She never even showed up.
No, I know, but like
she left books everywhere for people to. She went to so many places and didn't fucking report it. I'm like, you left a book here, so you must have been here, bitch. This is someone's murder coven. Who did you report this to?
Well, I'm just trying to think of someone who had police access.
Yeah,
that might have been an interesting person to be killing.
I don't understand how she didn't kill that Cassandra girl either.
I don't know.
She took over Baxter, and Baxter was the one who put her in the fucking safe house.
Yeah.
So, Made no sense.
I don't know why she didn't, or maybe she had a plan of killing her in a more special way. Because I mean, she does have those.
Yeah. She's like really fucking lame.
So maybe she was capturing them first, and then
I was just kind of hoping
plan.
the serial killer like killing little girls, and I was like, this would be a fucking terrifying. This game would be so much more terrifying if at the end of the game you and that little medium girl were together, but you can't really affect things like bodies and stuff. You can affect like other stuff, and he's just chasing her. I'm like, that would be fucking terrifying.
Oh, God,
for this little girl. That would be awful. Watching him like trying to murder her the way he murders everyone else. That would have been so sweet.
And having to find some way, and like maybe you get another power right at that moment of actually being able to move an object,
or you turn on a TV
you,
or something.
You throw something at his head.
Also, at any given point, they didn't do this, and they really should have. They did not have one, and I mean one single homage to Ghost. Not a single, no fucking clay pots. Like, this is bullshit. I wanted one thing. A guy in the subway teaching you how to, like, fucking move stuff with your ghost powers, because that's what he does in Ghost. And I was like, one thing, guys. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That would be kind of fun.
God, you just randomly walk into, like, a secret wall that was consecrated everywhere, but this one spot, and it's Patrick Swayze.
The scene.
Yeah, that would be great. That would have been such a cool thing. And I didn't explore that much. Maybe it is in there, but I'm gonna say that.
I don't. No, definitely didn't.
God, that would be so.
There was no
cool.
pop culture references to any other ghosts or murder mysteries or anything that I found.
With the only one I wanted was Ghost. That was the only one. I was like, this would be the best if Patrick Swayze just showed up at any fucking given moment.
No, that would be good.
Yeah, because they would have. I would have liked that game a lot more. I would have been
maybe if the people who made Maneater made this game.
I know they would have
had a ton of pop culture,
and they wouldn't have made it so fucking dumb.
They would have had all side references to like Poltergeist and stuff like that. They would have.
Oh, they did. They did have all kind of stuff from Poltergeist.
Well, they said. You could press the poltergeist button.
Yeah, so like when you mess with electrical stuff, it's called poltergeisting. Yes. So all the kids are doing.
But I mean, that's actually what Poltergeist basically described as is messing with things in the real world as a ghost.
Yeah, I thought the interactions were kind of weird in this game too. I don't know if you. I
wish you could do more.
Yeah, so in some cases, like you met someone who was like go away. And you'd be like, what are you doing? I'm watching the girl who got me killed. And you're like, okay, see ya.
Yeah.
And I would be like, why don't you try to fucking demon slay that guy?
Oh, the guy who in the church that was sniffing his ex-girlfriend or whatever? That was really creepy and weird.
But it was interesting to me that
he could have been the serial killer.
Yeah, but it's interesting to me, and it was a ghost though.
I know.
But it was interesting that they didn't make those resolvable things. Like they put those things in there, and then you decided, nah, this isn't worth my time.
Yeah.
Like the little girl one where the guy like kidnapped somebody and now this guy is haunting this little girl and she's hiding under her covers while the mom's like, when will this girl shut the fuck up? Yeah. And I was like, why can't we resolve that issue? I don't understand.
Why can't we help her?
Yeah, it was weird that they picked, there was only 4 extra things you could do.
Yeah.
It was those 2 druggies, the one on the beach, and there was one more I didn't find, but I know there's a 4th one because I looked it up.
Is it the one with the Hummer or whatever, the teenagers with the...
No, that was the drunk driving one.
Oh, yeah.
So that was one of the ones I did. But there was a 4th one I didn't end up doing because I just didn't find it.
Okay.
But, I don't know. They could have done more with that. But this was a cheap game. This is not like a very well-made game.
No, it's kind of like... A lot of people might want to compare it to, like, the Sherlock Holmes games and stuff, too, because there are a couple of Sherlock Holmes. I tried playing one of those, and that is just... I loved the investigation in this one so much more than the Sherlock Holmes, because the Sherlock Holmes one was way more complicated.
Yeah.
It's hard to figure out anything. But this one, like, if you spend enough time in a room, you could find the clues. You could figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, this was a game that actually, like, really encouraged you to look everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think it did a really amazing job at making the investigation fun.
Which is the only fun part of the game.
It's the best part of the game.
It's the saddest thing that they did such a great thing and it gets fucking ruined by the story. By the fact that you can't do a lot with the other ghosts, that you can't solve a lot of crimes, that you're limited on your capacity with NPCs.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, they could have done so many cooler things with this game and they decided to say, nope, just fucking Abigail killed him.
Yeah, no, that would be really, like, I guess what's your vision for what this game could be? What's the best way this game
I think they could have taken out the ghost aspect of them committing the crime. Keep the ghost in there, of course. The ghost part was really fucking cool. And solving ghost crimes was cool, too. That was really sweet. Letting people get to peace. Add more of those. And honestly, 4 is not enough. Add fucking more. Make them smaller. Just add more resolvable things you could do in the game instead of having the fucking demons in there. There's your like the extra time they wanted with the fucking demons. And then so yeah, take out Abigail as the fucking person because she was such a lame villain.
No, I agree with that.
She was so boring. She's like, I'll kill every medium witch out there now. Yeah, because I'm evil.
Her motive is really stupid anyways, because you find out that she, like I said earlier, she accused all these girls of being witches. They turned out that they weren't witches.
How they figured that out after they died? I don't even know.
Like I was like, the priest captures her, puts her in a jail cell, and has her, like,
it's not even a jail cell. It's literally a basement of a house that has chains on the walls.
Yeah,
and I was like, this priest is into some fucked up shit.
Well, probably, but yeah, he has her down there, and then he all of a sudden is just like, you know what, like, you're a piece of shit because you just did this, and all these girls were innocent, and now you're gonna hang just like they did, and it's like. Okay, and that's your motive to killing mediums now? Is because you want to kill actual witches because you didn't kill witches beforehand?
No. Like, I think she just thought they were witches still.
I guess so.
I think that's her whole thing, but it was a lame motivation. It wasn't good enough. That villain was not good enough for me. They missed out on such a good opportunity to make this game so fucking great.
I think they did.
Yeah, honestly. They could have made this game just amazing. I would have loved it if it was just your serial killer investigator, you die, and then you have to finish your serial killer.
The one thing I do say that I did like was the twist that she had used multiple killers in a way.
Yeah, it was a little interesting, but it wasn't...
I really liked seeing that he was the one who killed
the girl with the chair.
The chair.
He did the most horrifying murder of all.
Yeah, which when he didn't even realize that, and then when he got the memories of it again and stuff, and I was just like, that's actually pretty interesting. Yeah. No, like being the killer without knowing you're the killer.
I mean, that's been we've seen movies like that and stuff like that still.
I still like that though.
That would have been a cool one too if
he was just the main killer, but he didn't kill himself.
If he was in there to kill that person and then
she killed him.
Well, not the girl, like the random guy who was in there. Like he drudged up this entire story to justify that why he was in there, and he's not even a fucking cop. Like this would be a really more interesting story. They could have done like I said, if they just did some critical thinking. If they weren't like ghosts are cool, they fucking send ghosts in.
They could even do like a Tyler Durden kind of thing where he is the Bell Killer, but he doesn't realize he's two people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So he goes in there to kill that person, that adult, and then he makes a new picture of him, even though it was just a regular guy in the apartment. He puts a mask on him and it makes it look like he was the serial killer. Like that would be fucking sweet if at the end you're just fighting your own like memories of the instance that happened, and the little girl, medium girl, is like, holy shit, I've been helping to kill her this whole time.
Like, and he's been searching for my mom to kill her.
Yeah, that would have been insane.
Ooh, and have a last confrontation be finding the mom, and then you get that like killer state of mind back. And try to kill her right away.
And that's the end of the game. Like, you just kill her. I think that would have made a better ending. But, of course, they went with this bullshit Abigail ghost.
And then you can make a sequel playing as Joy trying to find Ronan
to
kill him.
Well, I mean, he's already dead.
Well, I mean, but to make sure he doesn't...
soul to hell!
To make sure he doesn't kill any more mediums.
To send his soul to hell!
I think it could be cool.
Yeah, it would have been a cool concept if they made him the bad guy, or if they made the bad guy a real serial killer.
I think of all, like, movies or games that could become movies or shows, this could be a really good movie.
Yeah. I should write a movie, is what you're saying.
Let's write this movie. Yeah. I'm down for writing this movie.
But the game was good otherwise. I did the investigation and everything. I think we'll get to ratings now, right?
Sure.
We're done talking about the open world and everything. I mean, besides the open world, everything else we pretty much discussed. The open world's really sweet. You get to see some cool things in it.
I guess one tip I can give everyone if you are playing the game is all those hiding spots. If you're wanting to like travel around the world faster, hit the button to go to those hiding spots. You teleport right to it, and then just boom around the room instead of walking or running through the room. Yeah,
but you eventually learn to teleport, but you have to stop while you're teleporting.
Exactly.
So probably takes longer. Yeah, what would you rate this game?
I would rate this game, honestly, pretty well. Like, I think it's a fun game to play. If you can get this game on sale, like, I probably wouldn't pay full price for this game. No. But if you can get this game on sale, or if you can, like, watch this game, or, like, just get a couple people together or whatever and go through and just have fun with it, I think it's a fun game to play.
But what do you rate it?
it's worth it.
I'm gonna go with the same. I think worth. I really did enjoy the investigating part of this game. It was really fucking sweet.
Oh, yeah.
I bought it for $2, so that was a good deal for me.
It was on Steam for $2.
Yeah, but I mean, $10. I would probably pay $10 for the game, honestly.
Yeah.
Anything over 10 though, no. This game's too short. It's only 10 hours if you do like a lot of the stuff I did where you're looking for stuff and then you still don't fucking find anything.
I think I got this game for $20.
Yeah, $20 is just too much.
Yeah.
It was a good game. It's not worth $20.
Yeah, and
$10
it's
is a good
not
price.
too long either. Probably like
You could get it done in an hour. Like honestly, if you
Yes.
just didn't search for anything, you knew the clues, it's done in an hour.
you could get it done in an hour. You could find all the collectibles and maybe take like 20 to 30 hours.
Yeah.
But if you just go straight through the game, you're probably gonna take like 6 to 8 hours.
I'd say 4 to 6, honestly.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
took longer because I was trying to find the collectibles.
Okay.
Although, and we didn't mention one thing. One of the coolest parts of this fucking game is you possess cats.
Oh yes,
you
I
can-
love that.
You can
so
actually
much.
move around as the cat and jump on things because as a ghost you can't jump because if you jump you'll dissipate.
I don't know.
Who knows why you can't jump? But you can't jump as a ghost and you can't.
And there
Even
is
though the floor, you can't go through the floor. You can go through things you can climb on.
Yeah,
it's
it's
very
weird.
confusing. But yeah, there's cats you can take over and you can use them to jump onto things, and that was fucking sweet.
and in case you're wondering, there is a meow button.
Yeah, there is a meow, which I thought there would be a point to that, and there is no fucking.
No, there's no more point to it.
So I was
make
just
the cat
clicking
meow.
it everywhere I went. I'm meow, 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 meow.
It's the best thing to do.
And then
honestly.
the people would be like, "Fucking cat, shut the fuck up." But yeah, Worf definitely. I think Worf is
Yeah.
like, it's good right in the middle. Right in the middle is
It
good.
really is. It's one of those. It's definitely worth a play, I
Yeah.
think, because honestly, the investigation alone is so much fun, and you won't find a game that has
Yeah.
investigation like
No,
this.
you
Like this
won't.
is very unique.
Yeah.
And for that game mechanic, you won't find anywhere else. I think it's worth the play.
Yeah, 30 times better than Banjo.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe 1,000 times better than Banjo. Way better than Banjo.
You're talking about my heartstrings if you're
I'm
talking
sorry,
about Banjo.
man. It's just so
'cause
awful.
I mean, I know it's awful.
What are the
but I
two
love
things
it.
that are exactly parallel? Banjo, Mountain Dew. So there you go. What does that tell you about Banjo and Mountain? They're shit. All right,
I
guys.
love them. I love both of those.
That was that episode of Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yes.
Soul Suspect?
Soul Suspect.
Yeah. So Survivor sounds better. Soul Survivor.
No,
Because it's not like
he's not
S-O...
the only survivor.
I know, but it's not SOLE. It's SOUL. Like you're a soul survivor.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're soul lingerer.
Yeah. Soul. If you're using phonics, it really does make sense.
Or soul of a gamer.
Oh!
Tied it back.
Yeah, next week's game is actually going to be really fun. I'm really excited for it because I love this fucking game so much. It's going to be Tak 2, The Staff of
Yes.
Dreams. If you've never played Tak and the Power of Juju, go fucking buy it now because it's amazing.
I did. All right. So I guess I have one question about that.
Yeah.
Was it a cartoon as well?
They made it after the game.
After the game.
After the game. So we're playing the second game because the first one's good, but the second one's just so much funnier.
I don't think I ever played the first one, so I'm just playing through the second one. I'll catch on.
Yeah, if you had to pick one, honestly, you don't need the whole story. There are parts in the second one that refer back to the first one.
Yeah.
It's pretty like self-explanatory once you see it. You're like, oh, that happened in the first one, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And the third one, don't play it.
Okay.
It's really bad.
I'll take your word for that.
But Patrick Warburton plays one of the characters, and who was the other guy?
It's the guy who plays Chester McBadbat in Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
He also plays a character in the 80s show Step by Step.
Oh yeah.
And he also plays the second Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah. Honestly, he was a great voice actor for that game.
Oh, yeah.
Jaboba gets played by someone famous too. I just don't remember who it
Yeah,
is.
I don't know either.
But yeah, you'll see
Locke.
next week.
Locke is Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. Locke is Patrick Warburton. But Jaboba is the chief
The old man that turns himself into weird
Yeah.
ants.
Termites. I
Termites.
think. No. Wait, a flea.
Tick. Oh, flea. Yeah,
Flea.
that's a flea. You're right.
All right. Yeah. So next week we'll talk about that.
Yes.
So this is Soul of a Gamer signing out.
We love you.
We love you.
No, we love you.